Yay!
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, everyone. This is the live show for Gil Life Playground. Sorry if I look really washed out. The light is making me.
No, I know. My light's really weird today, too, because it's so dark in here.
But, yeah, this is us discussing this book that we all really, really love.
Woo!
We don't have it.
Yeah. Although, to be fair, I did get it from the library, but I'm kind of regretting it. I might have to buy myself a copy because I really liked it.
Crap.
Makes a lot of sense.
I put favorite scenes, but not near as many as you, Avery.
I loved this.
I did too.
It was so good. Yeah.
So far, my favorite book of the year. Like, so far.
Yeah. I know. I feel like it's that, like, when you say that in January, it's like it doesn't have as much like power, but like I feel like it'll still be a favorite in a few months too, though.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
we gotta let people know.
I'm just reading out from.
It's funny though too. I think today must be. I don't know if it's because it's the first or because there's like a bunch of live shows today. I just saw I saw. Was it Mara was doing one on like books like Whoa, and then someone was doing something else I saw. I don't know. So it's a popular day, apparently.
Yeah.
It's Saturday too. I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah. The first probably is just that day.
Yeah. This piece of hair is just like sticking straight out.
Okay. So, do we want to do our highs and lows and then our current reads?
Sure.
Who wants to go first?
Whoever. I don't really have a good one, so someone else go.
Okay, I'll go. My high is that, to be honest, this book was my high of the month. I'm not kidding you. I really
I like it.
My low has just been school in general. Like, I've been in school for like a year and almost a whole year, and it's hard to get back into in a school that's very, very, very competitive in their academics. So I've been having a lot of panic attacks and struggle times. So school has just been not a great thing this month. And then I finished this actually today, so I'm not really currently reading anything. Well, I am actually currently rereading The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas for my reading class because you had to pick like a young adult novel to read. So I picked
a reading class? What does that entail?
A multicultural literature class for
fun
teaching kids reading and what books
are amazing.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome. Jen.
Well, I don't really know what my high is. January's just been kind of a month. Hasn't been great, hasn't been bad. I guess my low would be breaking my hand, but that's it just makes me feel stupid. That's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't try to catch falling books. Just let them fall.
I'm really sad that your hand's broken, but part of me's really loving that it happened with a book incident.
Every time someone's asked me, like, because I work with kids and it's like every 30 minutes I get a new kid in my room, every single time, what did you do to your hand? And I'm like, and it's because I teach piano too, right? So like I use my hands to teach, and this is my dominant hand, so like it's been a time. So it's explaining what happened, and I'm like, well, first of all, you need to know I have a room in my basement with all my books in it, but my mom also has all her workout equipment in it. And as soon as I say that, my kids, like, they go, oh no. And I'm like, yeah, mom's got a weight bench with 2 metal arms that stick up like this, and I was buying my books, and one of the books decided to fall, and I just reflexively hit the weight bench really hard.
You should come up with like a really funny story with like, I got in a fist fight at a bar or something.
Yeah, one of my coworkers was like, you punched the wall, didn't you? I'm like, I mean, that would have been a better story than mine, but okay.
I like the book story, but I do hope your hand feels better.
Thanks. It's like annoying. This just is hot and makes me feel unsanitary because I can't wash my hands all the time. So that's
it's not summer though, because it would have been hot.
It is like -10 outside right now, so like it's nice out, but
it's cold.
Canadian Celsius, what is that? 30 degrees Fahrenheit?
Yeah, I think so.
That's cold. Coming from Texan.
Me and Avery both are from the south.
It's not that bad. It's actually quite nice out now, but
okay.
We've been in the 40s all week.
Yeah, it's been cold here. We've had a really cold snap here too, which for us is like, huh?
Yeah, the States has gone through a lot of.
It's been cold. It was snowing like a couple hours north of me. Yeah, yesterday, which didn't get much snow. So yeah, I almost wanted to like drive up there, but
what is snow? I've only seen snow 3 times in my life.
Yeah, we don't get much.
They get it
in the mountains, but yeah. What are you reading? Do you reading anything?
Oh, I am currently in the middle of The Queen of Sorrow by Sarah Beth Durst, and I'm still checking my way through The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern.
How is that?
I love it, but you have to really love atmospheric, weird, whimsical, just random writing to love it, like beautiful lyrical writing to really get into it. So that's what Erin Morgenstern writes like, and I adore it. So I'm taking it really slow, like extremely slow. I started it the first week of January.
She wrote The Night Circus, right?
Yeah.
So I really want to try that book because I feel like I would like the plot, but I know that I've heard before that she has really like atmospheric writing, and that typically isn't my thing.
I don't think you like The Night Circus.
You don't think so?
I've read about half of it before I was listening to the audiobook, and I didn't really like the audiobook because Jim Dale's voice isn't the fit for me for that. He's got too of a narrative voice because he also does like the Game of Thrones books and the Harry Potter books. So I'm like, no, this is too weird. But like I was listening to it, and it like nothing happens for the first half. It's just a beautiful written story, right? So I mean, try it if you want.
No. People maybe from the library or something. I mean, it's one of those like everyone either loves it or hates it. So it's like it's one of the two. Typically.
It's polarizing. Yeah. I've had some people comment on my videos just being like, this one person said like, "Oh my god, I can't believe people are so excited about The Starless Sea because I hated The Night Circus. It was so awful." And I was like, first of all, we all have our opinions. Second of all, all right, like, okay. But yeah,
everyone likes their thing, you know? If everyone liked the same thing, it'd be pretty boring. So
that's very true.
You know?
One of my friends who's not like a super big reader though, she gifted me The Night Circus, and she was like, "This is the only book that I've reread in my life." I was like,
"Wow, that's something."
So
yeah, cool.
Yeah.
I don't really know what. I guess a low would be like I just keep getting sick. we were talking about this before. It's like the curse of winter virus season. So it's just been like a battle because you can't keep taking off work, so you just gotta plow through it. But I'm on many a vitamin, so I'm hoping it will help.
Go see a doctor, for goodness sakes.
Huh?
Go to a walk-in. I have to like yell at my friends when they get sick. I'm like, go see a doctor. Get antibiotics.
And it's like sometimes though it's just a cold. Like it really is just you keep getting repetitive colds. So but everyone's suffering right now. So that's probably low. I feel like January is just
it's just not a good month in general. January kind of sucks.
No, it's okay, but it's not the best. So we're in February now, so we're on the up and up. So
woke up this morning, I was like, oh, finally it's February.
Right. I know. I put my calendar this morning. I'm like, thank you.
Oh, January was the longest year of my life. Like, my God.
Oh, no. Me too.
Yeah. And then the high, I'm trying to think. I mean, I really did enjoy reading the book as well. But I don't know what a high was, to be honest. It wasn't like a bad month. It's just
an uneventful month.
Yeah, kind of uneventful. It's just kind of like stayed the same, which isn't too bad. So, I don't know. But I finished Get a Life, Chloe Brown a few days ago, and then I was reading. I don't have it with me because I forgot to grab it, but it was. Have you guys ever heard of the Gabriel's Inferno like trilogy by like Sylvain Reynard?
That
you might
sounds that name
Possibly.
sounds really familiar.
They're very like kind of older. When I say old, they came out in like maybe 2010 maybe. And so anyways, I read that trilogy years ago, and a new one just came out. Like he released like a fourth one in that series. That's like a continuation. So I just finished that one, which was really, really good. But I really think people would probably not enjoy it unless they just really like the characters from the first series, because it was very like you just like the couple, you know, more than like a plot driven type thing. But then I'm also reading Wolf Gone Wild. I just started it by Juliet Cross.
Ooh, I heard of that. What's that one?
Yeah,
I love the cover. It's a paranormal kind of like rom-com. So I was, I know, it sounds so good. And I'll let you know what I think, because it's so far it's really good. I'm only like 10% in though. So, but it's gotten really great reviews, and I love Juliet Cross does a podcast with her niece.
Oh.
And I love their podcast. It's called, I'll have to look it up because it's one of my absolute favorites. I think it's called, I'm going to look it up and I'll like shout it out later, because I love that podcast. It's so good. So anyway, she's an author, and this was her most recent book. So I had to pick it up because I wanted to, it sounded great. Plus I just really wanted to support them and stuff. So
yeah, well, that's cool.
Yeah. Yep.
Sorry, I don't want to wrinkle.
I recently got a steamer for Christmas because I am that cool, and it has changed my life.
Yes. Oh my God. When I worked retail, that steamer just, it burnt me, but I loved it because it was,
you can burn your hands.
Oh man, I burnt myself every day, but like it was great. I just kept sitting there thinking like, this is what I need in my house. Just because laundry, like ironing sucks. I don't ever iron, but like,
you get one of those little handheld ones for like $30-$40 now, and I got one, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm way more put together, at least on the outside.
I just love when your clothes get stuck inside the sheet to where the clothes inside the sheet are wet.
Yep. Yeah. Or you lose a sock in there, never to be found again.
Is there anything in here?
All right.
Okay.
I'm going to give a synopsis of it. And just, I mean, I feel like most people know what this book's about, but just in case they don't, Jen, go for it. Or Jen, oh, is she frozen?
Jen, hello?
She's frozen. Uh-oh. Okay, well, Jen will be back momentarily. I was like,
where'd Jen go?
I don't know. I think it might have frozen. Okay. Well.
Sorry, Jen.
Hopefully she can come back in a minute. I wonder if we should message her real quick. I'll message her on Twitter real quick, just to make sure she knows. Hold momentarily while we sort this out.
Some technical difficulties. Jen's, wait. Wait a minute.
Oh, there we go. I'm back.
How did you? Where did that? What happened?
It was just like my Wi-Fi kept cutting in and out. Like you guys kept freezing on me, and I was just like, "What's happening?" And then it just stopped. So
okay,
but I'm back though.
And I were like, "Where did Jen go?"
Because your face was frozen. And at first, I'm like, "Oh, she's just really excited about something."
I was just smiling, and it just.
Never mind. She's frozen.
Oh, that was perfect.
We were just saying we're going to give a synopsis of the, just in case anyone hasn't heard and they've, been under a rock or something. So basically it's about a girl named Chloe Brown who is and someone just interrupt me if I miss something, who is amazing. And she is would you say like she has a chronic illness?
She's got fibromyalgia, right?
Fibromyalgia, yeah. Which I really, really liked the way they represented that in the book. I feel like we don't get enough. I know you were saying before that, we need more books with heroines who have, like, they're living with some kind of like illness or chronic pain or something like that, because it's just it's a lot. We won't give very many characters. So it's about her, and she's also like I never said it in the book, but I'm pretty sure she's supposed to be like a curvy girl, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I just inferred that from the front picture, but like,
yeah, well, I kind of did
you can tell from the cover, but like also like Red, the love interest, like kind of says a lot when he's looking at her. He's like, she kind of has like a soft tummy, and he like likes it.
Yeah.
And
like,
he obsessed about her size, and I'm just like, oof, yeah.
So, but it's about Chloe Brown, and
she's also a person of color.
She is also a person of color, yes, and she has the best fashion sense ever. But she
I know. Teacher, I want all of Chloe's clothes.
I know, and her glasses. But she's from like a wealthy family, and she's kind of always lived at home, and she kind of realizes that she needs to get a life. So she makes a list of things that she thinks she needs to kind of accomplish. And then comes her love interest in, who is what's his title? Like a tenant superintendent of like where she moved. And
I might be wrong.
I think it was superintendent. And
I think he's the superintendent of the building.
Yeah. And they meet, and the story kind of goes from there. That was the worst synopsis I've ever heard. I'm horrible at giving.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
No, that was fine. I think the only thing you really missed was that her life was just kind of stagnant before.
Yeah.
Right? So like she lives at home, she's stifled by her family, she's got nothing going on. She feels like she doesn't do anything. So that's why. Well, it was a near-death experience that
Yes. She has a near-death experience that makes her want to kind of make some changes in her life.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of like at first kind of like a dislike or a hate to love with the couple.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that helps her complete this list to your life.
I was thinking about that at the end. I'm like, I don't think she did complete the list completely.
Well, I think that also wasn't really the point at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
True.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, very true. But I think the consensus from all of us is that we loved this one.
Yeah.
We all were in agreement that it was just thebomb.com. And
it was so good. Just genuinely so enjoyable. Like it wasn't a typical, like I kept thinking about the other books that we've read previously that are like romantic comedies like this one. We'll call it a romantic comedy. I don't really care. Romantic comedy. Like the meet cute had so many obstacles that just kept getting thrown at them. And then the one that we read before this, Well Met, you didn't get enough of the two of them together. This was like such a perfect little bow, a present of loveliness. It was just so
perfect. I loved it. It was hilarious. It was so funny.
Like the only real conflicts were internal. It was great. Perfect. I love books like this.
Yeah, I also listened to the audiobook, and it was really good on audio.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
The girl was good.
Listen to it.
I did not listen to it. I physically read it.
I did both. One day I loved all the way through the book. It was great.
Yeah. I thought I don't know, the narrator cracked me up just with her like accents and the way she was saying them. Mm-hmm.
Ooh, and Bremen accent was perfect. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. Like the accent for both Red with almost like that northern, I think, accent, and then like Chloe's
like gently Scottish. It was great.
It was so
good. I have to listen to it. I have to.
Just reread it. It was so good though. I felt like I would listen to that all day. Just like put it on in the background. So good. Sorry, I'm moving this because I keep getting like shadows.
Oh my! What did you guys each rate the book?
I gave it 5. I think we both.
Did I give it 5 out of 5?
A little bit. I almost gave it 4.5, but I just kept thinking about this book for like days after.
5.
Is like a 5, you know?
Yeah.
We agree. This is our first all 3 5-star book.
I think it might be. Well, we might have done that with Well Met. Did you guys give 4 to Well Met? I can't remember.
I don't think I gave 5 stars to Well Met.
I think I definitely like this better. I still loved Well Met, but I still like this one better.
I think this one was a better crafted story overall.
And the writing, it was just
lovely.
So good. It was so good. I loved it. So funny. Cracking me up.
It was great.
I love this book mainly because I connected to it a lot. Like, because her chronic illness is a lot like mine. If y'all didn't know, I have anyone out there. I have something called POTS. So, like, my chronic illness is very, very, very similar to Chloe's, into where, like, I cannot overexert myself or else I will be, like, put out. Like, joint pain, muscle pain. I don't know if she has this. I have really bad chronic migraines, but like her dealing with her illness was very, very, very similar to mine. I don't take any.
She said something about migraines.
Yeah, I don't take any medication for it just because like my doctor didn't prescribe me medication. I kind of just have to live with it. So I found that part interesting. But I put like I have like 4 different color tabs. I don't even know if y'all can see that, but the yellow ones are all of her talking about her illness. I was like, oh my gosh, I relate so freaking hard to that. Like. I mainly love this book because I saw myself in Chloe a lot, and I've never read a book about a person with chronic illness before, so I loved it.
Well, especially one that like you can't see, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like I have fibromyalgia, or probably yours as well, POTS. Like you can't just look at someone and like know that what they have going on and how much pain they're in and how much like it takes out of them just to make it through the day. So I
loved how Red handled her illness too. He just like automatically accepted it, didn't question it, was just like, "You're in pain. Tell me." And he's like, "Oh no, like I'm not hurt. I'm just in pain always." He's like, "Okay."
I know. I think I posted an Instagram picture the other day, and I think I put in there like, Chloe was a badass, and I need a Red right now.
Yeah, so good. I remember in my vlog where I read this book, I said, like, he's the perfect, like, he's the typical bad boy on the outside, but on the inside, he's an arty nerd, and I love him so much. Like, he's only a bad boy because he's large and rides a motorcycle and has tattoos. But he loves his mom. He loves
so cute.
He loves art, and I was just like, oh my god, I want him. He's so good.
I know.
You need to find that out there in the world.
I know. Let us all pray for a Red to come to our lives. But no, he was. I thought both characters too were really well like developed. I love their backstories because sometimes I feel like, especially in this kind of book, the heroine is, but the hero, like the guy, isn't always. I feel like he can be a little bit less. I don't know. We get less about him.
Better, a little bit more normal. Like he's not.
And he had, we won't go into it right now because we still have spoilers, but his backstory was really intense, and he had like a really interesting backstory that made kind of sense once you knew what it was.
Yeah, totally.
Which I really liked because, you know, they need to be developed too, not just, you know, look at.
I loved how his mom, I think he was more familiar with the illness part because his mom had diabetes. So he's like, like it's not something you can see, but you just have to take care of them either way. And I'm like, oh, you're so good. You're so pure.
Yeah, I love how he, like, all the time was like, how's Chloe feeling? Do I need to stop? Do I need to take a break? Like, I can acclimate to however she's feeling. Like, he's more than willing to acclimate to her. And, like, I'm like,
like, there's a line in here, and I want to find it because I know I underlined it. It was in one of my pictures that I posted a while ago. Oh my god, where? There it is. Just like the things that she thinks are just like, although she did rather need her brain for things and stuff. I'm like, yeah, get on the back of that motorcycle, but you need your brain. So like,
I just loved Chloe so much. Like, I think she might be one of my top, like, heroines right now. Like,
I
wonderful.
her.
I love how funny she is.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's funny. She's very smart. She's, like, kind of sarcastic. I don't know. She's also, like, a complete, like, I don't know, like, badass because she just puts up with the pain and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, not puts up with it, but she lives with it and doesn't let it. I mean, she did kind of let it stop her at the beginning, but by the end, she kind of figured out, you know, how to like live with it.
I was looking for funny scenes too, because all my blue ones are funny stuff, and I came across this one.
I put funny ones too.
Red is like cooking dinner for Chloe and trying to like, and he goes, "Christ, woman, why'd you have a kitchen drawer full of fancy pens? Where are your spoons?"
When I read that scene, I was like, me, that'll be me one day. Just a drawer full of pens, because that is my life. It's so funny. It's so funny. I laughed so hard at that.
I think my favorite scene, well, this might be slightly spoilery, so if anyone really hasn't read it, doesn't want to hear anything, you may want to exit now and then come back, because I feel like probably going to start spoiling things for you. So come back in a few days once you've read it, if you haven't read it. But I love the scene with her getting smudge from the tree. Yes! I was dying of laughter. Well, first it was cute, but like her inner monologue about the cat.
Perfect. Oh my God.
Book was just like, I mean, it was so spot on. Oh my God.
I wrote on the side here, like, she's literally saving a cat. Like, I was, there's the writing book that's like, Save the Cat Writes a Novel, and the whole thing is, you have a person, like, if the person is really dislikable or whatever, you have them literally save a cat and it redeems them in some way. And I was cackling. I was like, she's not, like, she's unlikable to Red at the beginning, but like, she's not to us. But she's literally saving a cat in this. I was like, this is the best. I love this so much.
I know. I just love it. I love the name Smudge. It's so cute.
Oh, like, I wish that she had gotten him at the end again. I wish that, like, her friend who was the owner of Smudge or whatever,
Annie.
Annie. I wish she had, like, bequeathed Smudge to her.
I want to see that.
But they did get Smudge, didn't they? Remember, her family had him.
No,
she got Smudge in the end.
Did she? Yeah. I'm just kidding.
I wanted to see like Annie actually giving Smudge to her.
Yeah. But they did. Like, I don't remember how they got him, but like remember in the epilogue, when her and Red are traveling, she's like FaceTiming.
Yeah.
I have it. Yeah.
They're FaceTiming with Gigi, and Gigi's holding up Smudge, and Chloe goes, "Yes, we had Smudge." Oh, the narrator. Yes, they had Smudge.
God. Yes,
Red moved into a flat that allowed pets. Annie provided a most welcome housewarming gift. I found it fun. The Smudge that were like hilarious is like Chloe or like the narrator. I don't even know if it would be Chloe or the narrator, but like they were coming up with like ways that Smudge would like talk to her, like things would say. Like where is it? One of them was Red, Chloe's in the shower, I think, and Red is waiting for her to get out of the shower and is like thinking about her, and Smudge is there. And it says like Red stared at the cat stared at him. If he were the kind of man who really understood animals, he might say this particular cat was sending him telepathic message that was something like, "Get your dirty perverted eyes off my mum."
It was perfect. Any of the internal monologue, either from Red or Chloe, about like in Smudge's voice was prime. It was so good. It was so good.
So yeah, that was anything with the cat. Honestly, was like a favorite scene. It was so well done.
I think that probably she would get Smudge at the end because Smudge is on the cover, you know. And I feel like it would be kind of cool. Smudge on the cover and not have her end up with Smudge.
Well, at first I didn't think they were because it got to the very end and they still didn't have Smudge.
Yeah, and then in Red's letter to her or whatever, he said like,
Oh, Red's letter.
I will. His list? He has a stupid freaking list. Where is it?
It's at the very end. Yeah. I tabbed it because he said the L word.
For a second, I thought you were talking about a swear. I was like, what?
No, left.
Where?
352.
Ah, yes. Wait outside Annie's house. Nick Smudge. Perfect. I was like, yes, I want to see this in a scene. But we were so close to the end. I was like, how? Is he going to catch Smudge?
I wanted to see that.
Yeah. I liked it. Oh my gosh.
So good. What was your least favorite scene? Do you have any least favorites?
I was trying to think of this earlier because I knew we usually gave them, and I honestly, the only thing in this book that I didn't like 100% love was the conflict was somewhat from like a miscommunication, which is not my favorite.
No,
but
it's so realistic.
It's realistic, and they fixed it pretty quick. It didn't go on for like ever and ever and ever. Because there really were two. The one where they get in the fight where she's talking to the aunt, and she doesn't introduce Red, and then that one was resolved pretty fast. And then there's obviously the bigger one. But I don't know. That was the only thing that I would say like wasn't my absolute favorite because it's just I'm not a fan of that.
The miscommunication is my biggest pet peeve in a lot of romance because a lot of like the biggest plot drivers in romance books is the miscommunication, and I'm like, no, people are smarter than this. Like, at least I hope they are. But like, this one, it didn't bother me as much because a lot of it was based in Red's deep-seated anxiety that he didn't realize. I also loved the men realizing their mental health rep in this. It was so good because a lot of books, like, men are just seen as like they can't be emotional, they can't have issues, they're perfectly fine. But Red, like, he breaks down, he is so full of anxiety, he goes to therapy and he gets it better, like he tries at least. Perfect. It was perfect. I love that.
Great.
Yeah. And it was like
favorite scenes.
I think the only scene that I really didn't love was the big, like, darkest moment scene where they break up after he was like, I'm one of your list or whatever. I'm just something for you to conquer. And it was just because she didn't tell him, like, no, like, let me show you this list. I didn't put you on it. I said to keep Red, and I was waiting for that to come in. But that's just because it was sad. That's not because it was badly written or anything. It was just really sad. And I was like, no. And the spiral that he goes through, I was sitting there, I was like, that is so realistic. That is so relatable, and just like immediately, no matter how hard you try and reason with yourself, sometimes your brain just goes there to the darkest part. And it was just, this book is so good. I can't even. Oh, God.
My heart just sank, and I was like tearing up when he was talking about that.
Yeah, I was like in my room, just like, I can't.
I know.
Here, I gotta take my other clothes out of the dryer so other people can use the dryer. Give me a second.
Okay. I don't know. I don't think I had any other least favorite scenes. I also really liked. I liked there was a lot of scenes that were good. Honestly, there were
every page of this book I was in love with. I even wrote that down. I wrote that down in my like bullet journal. I was like, so friggin' good every damn page. I was like, every damn page was just so good.
I did love the camping though.
But it was cute as hell.
It was I said I love the camping.
Oh, yeah. I thought you said you didn't love the camping.
No, I love the camping. That was like one of my other favorites.
Was so good.
It was so cute, but also like this book was steamier than I thought it was gonna be.
I was gonna say the scene before the ant scene when they were doing the art gallery thing, and then The statue.
Are we talking about Speedy Seeds?
So I'm like, we gotta wait for Avery.
I loved them. Sorry.
They were so good.
Yeah, we said we loved. Oh, I said I loved the camping scene, and then we said that the oh my god, it was just so sweet. But then I said that this book was steamier though than I kind of originally thought it would be, and we both said
simmeringly beautiful,
really, really good.
So, I think that's what a lot of people think. I'm not saying that you think this, Ashley, but I think people don't think that people with illustrated covers think that, oh, it can't be that scene. It's got to be a cute romance. Which, okay,
sometimes it can be like on Honeymooners.
It's kind of it's a little messy.
It irks me. There's a certain person, I'm not going to say their name, but there's a certain person on BookTube that I watch that I love, but she only reads romance books that have illustrated covers. Like, she only reads them. And she's like, I'm not really into ones with real people in them. And I'm like, but
it's just the cover though, right? Like, it's not.
There's no difference.
Yeah.
Like, these are way steamier than some of the ones with people I see on the cover.
Yeah, I know.
Like, that's something that irks me. I love her.
I get
that part. I'm like, girl, you gotta get over the cover.
Yeah. I get the the Harlequin romance versus these though, because the Harlequin romance is a type of romance that it's what it's. I heard someone, I think it was Chandler on her channel. She called it mum romance, like those brand of books. You know, they're just easy, simple. The writing isn't fantastic. It's just a story to like take you away. I get people not wanting those. I get them wanting something more like this, but no, it's a cover. It's not the story itself.
What cracks me up too, because like I feel like it does do that though, because like we all know, like we all love romance, so like I read a lot with way steamier covers, but it does like almost trick your brain into thinking
it totally does.
that it's gonna be way.
I've noticed that when I'm walking through Indigo,
and then you're reading and you're like, huh, this is great, but like I didn't see that coming, you know. And then the same thing though, if you have a really like more real people kind of cover with like, you know, abs or whatever it is on there, you are expecting almost it to be
you're immediately putting the stamp of the steamy Harlequin romance on it.
But sometimes they're not. Like I've read them.
This is like steamy, y'all. Like cover.
I had to excuse myself a few times from my main living area to like chill out. I was like, I can't read this with my parents around. Like, I can't do this.
I will say, the first scene with them like outside, I was like,
on the statue, I lost my mind for a few seconds. I was like, what am I reading?
I feel like I had that, you know, that emoji with the eyes that's like, I was like,
yep. Yep.
It's not like,
oh my god, that scene was so well written though. Like the whole lead up to the statue scene. It was so beautifully well done. And then it was just like, I knew something was going to happen because I was like I meant like with the ant or something was going to fall apart because, well, because I'm like trying to write my own book, I also like study story structure so well that I can see how people wrap up scenes. And I'm like, this scene is too good. There's too many good things happening. There's going to be a bad thing at the end. But like, it just felt like a kick to the gut when that happened. But it was just so well written. Oh my god.
I was kind of expecting it though for the and it went a different way than I thought it was going to. I assumed
thought they were gonna get arrested.
Like I assumed and predicted that like the what was I gonna say? Her like list for meaningless sex, like that part of it. I knew that was probably going to come into a conflict later on. It went like over differently than I thought it was going to, but like I knew that probably would come up as a conflict.
Yeah. I thought that he was gonna end up just finding the real list and being like, is this all you want me for?
Yeah. That's what I thought.
Not like overhearing her sisters talk about it. Can we talk about her sisters for a second? How amazing. I love them. I love them so much.
I'm so excited to read the next books because like I know
on one of the sisters, right?
Yeah, the next one's, and then I mean, I'm excited for hers too, but like, I really want the third sisters too because she's hilarious. Yeah, I mean, I think Danny's will be fantastic too. I felt like we got more even this than Danny for some reason. I don't know.
That might have been why though, because then, like, we can leave a little bit of Eve until the next one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, they're kind of going in order, like oldest to youngest. So makes sense, you know.
Very excited. When does that come out?
Okay, it's called.
I think it's summer.
It's called Take a Hint, Danny Brown. And it comes out June 3rd, 2020.
Oh, that's so
June 23rd, not 3rd. Danny has pink hair.
She does. Amazing. I gotta find this on Goodreads.
Cool. Very cool.
You need to click want to read. I haven't even clicked that yet.
I know, I didn't either. I'm really bad about that. I'll look at it, but not actually click want to read.
That's so cute.
I'm so excited. But yeah, I thought back to the cover thing too. It was cracking me up because kind of off topic, but I have a couple different copies of the Bridgertons from Julia Quinn. I've got like the American cover, and then I've got a couple of the UK covers for them. And the UK covers are illustrated covers. And yeah, I can go grab one. And then the American ones are mostly actually for her books. They're not people. They're mostly like houses or something. But it's just so interesting because you have like, there's sometimes a step back though, which will have like a couple on it. But it's just so funny to me that like, it's the exact same like book. It's the exact same like words. And yet one looks way different than the other. And I feel like it does kind of attract like,
oh, it totally does. The cover, even though people say like don't judge a book by its cover, people will judge books by their covers simply because that's an aesthetic thing, right? Like they are drawn in by covers. My friends and I were talking about this earlier actually. It's because one of my friends was like, why do some books have such boring covers? And I'm like, well, there was a trend back in the day. Or just like not even like in the 2000s, you can see like in YA literature especially, you can see the trend of like the typical 2000s fantasy YA book. You can probably picture one in your head right now. I got like a million. And then now to the books, they're so beautiful now, but like covers go into trends and stuff like that. But it's really interesting actually to see the UK covers versus the American covers or Canadian covers, just like in general for every book, because it's wild. Sometimes they're so different, but
are the UK covers like your covers?
No, we usually get the American ones now. Okay. But like because Harry Potter was different, right? We got the UK ones, but no, usually we get the American ones now because of the way the world works.
So these ones aren't as big of a difference because like there's not like a super like couple on this one, but like this is the American cover and it's like, you know, the mass market.
Yeah. Looks like a Nora Roberts.
Normal, like looks like a
typical.
Yeah. And then this is the UK cover.
See, that's so cute. That looks like a Sophie Kinsella book. Like that's
yeah, exactly. So, and there's all of them are super cute. I've got a couple of them that I've been like finding at like used bookstores and stuff. It blows my mind. I don't know. Sorry for that.
Yeah. Sometimes I think just even cover design in general, even if you're going with a more realistic cover, you can do so much to make it more aesthetically pleasing for people. Like look what they do now with fantasy covers with people on the cover. They're so cool looking, you know?
Yeah.
So like you can do so much with it. You don't just have to have the swoony man on the cover with his abs showing. Like you could do so much more with it. So I hope we get there.
I do too. Well, and I don't mind the other covers. Like they're okay. It's not a big deal, but it's more just the difference that's interesting. And also like even that one I said I was reading, Wolf Gone Wild, like that is not your typical paranormal cover. Like that is very pretty, but it has like wolves, but there's like wolves on it. And so clearly it has a werewolf in it, and it's like werewolf and witches. But like typically that's not your cover you're gonna have. So I just think, I don't know, like I'd love to hear the marketing side of this stuff too. I feel like that's really interesting.
So would I, because I know like a lot of authors don't have much say in their book covers. I guess like occasionally, well, of course they have to approve the cover, but it's just they don't have much say in what goes into it. I know sometimes, like if you're following, like I followed Christine Ricciot's like writing journey when she was doing it, and when she was getting her cover mocks, she did send like, oh, I really like these style of covers, you know, and then it ended up being incorporated, but yeah, they have like no say at all. I know like with the Cassandra Clare books, she just got given a cover, and originally for the City of Bones series before she got really popular and could pick her own covers and stuff like that, but she just got given one. So
it also,
sometimes you could just get the short end of the stick.
Yeah, probably also has to do with budget too.
Yeah. Yeah, how much the publisher actually wants to spend on you.
That's why like a bunch of like indie romances, like you'll see the couple reused in like maybe their hair color is different, or like I've seen a lot like there's specifically, if you've read or know of, you probably haven't read them, but the Ice Planet Barbarian series, book number 2, there's a couple on the front, and like they had to change his skin color to blue because it's a blue alien, and like her hair is blonde or brown or whatever, and then like I'll in indie romance books, and like he's a different skin color and she has different hair color. Like people just reuse a certain couple. I guess there's like a thing, a website, or I don't know.
Stock images, right? Stock images that are like,
oh my god, I would die if people actually used stock images as their covers. Oh my god.
No, I'm like not kidding. Like I'm like 90% sure some people do.
I mean, probably, but like I've through my job, I've had to go dig through stock image websites, and the images you can find are so friggin' funny. But like when you go in like searching for one specific thing, you can never find it. So like we sometimes when we have to go searching for stock images for a magazine, like we're just we just get so angry laughing. We're just like, we can't find what we need. We have it in our head, but like it's just we come across the funniest photos. It's great.
Okay. Anyone else have any other favorite scenes?
I love the motorcycle scene just because I feel like that's when Red's really started to like think differently of her. Be like, oh, she's not like my ex.
No. Like, and it took him a long time to really like solidify that opinion in his head, I think. Like it just he just kept comparing her to Pippa. I'm really terrible with remembering names. But I'm glad he finally got over that though. My god.
Well, even his like his we haven't really talked about, but Red had a really interesting backstory too. Which
I wasn't expecting that also.
Well, I had heard, so FYI, like I'd heard before I read this, there was a bit like people had said there's like a trigger warning for people that had been in like an abusive relationship. And I, being the person like anyone else felt like thinking, I assumed it was for the girl.
Yeah.
Because typically in a book, if someone's had a bad relationship or abusive, it's been the female character.
Yeah.
So I thought it was really
the author's note touches on it in the front.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So I liked, not that I wanted Red to have that happen, but I liked that it was the guy that had been.
Yeah.
Like he even said in the things, he was like, Pippa can't physically hurt me, but she can still do damage. It's like,
oh yeah.
Stabbed him with a fork.
Well, yeah. I think he meant like
that.
Yeah.
He was ruined by her.
Well, when he started talking about, he was like, my ex was like abusive to me. I was like, wait, what? Like, I was like, this whole time, like, I didn't even think of that. You know what I mean? Before he said that. It's like, oh, the ex sounds like a bitch. You know what I mean? And then when he said,
she just had control over every aspect of his life, like his career, his emotional attachment to his mother. Like, she was just the worst. I'm surprised that we don't get more stories of that because, like, naturally, women just tend to kind of need a little bit more. Like, in like stereotypical stories of women, like you find the seductress, the manipulative, like you find that more. I'm surprised we don't have more stories like that just with an abusive woman, you know?
You know what I feel like it is? I think maybe it's like they don't want to make the hero seem weak in any way.
True.
And so I think maybe sometimes they're afraid if they show like an abusive relationship of any kind, somehow he would, even though it's not, and it takes a lot of strength to get away from that and to like go to therapy and things like that. But like on the outside, you know what I mean? So maybe that's why in the past it hasn't happened, but I do hope it happens more because I mean, in real life, you know what's happening. So, you know.
Yeah. I mean, also Chloe's ex was kind of just the worst.
Yeah.
He was the worst. Oh God. And I think one of my favorite scenes of this entire book, besides the like art place scene and the smudge scene, is the one. Smudge, for sure, is her just deciding on a whim. She's like, I don't care that I'm hurt. I'm gonna go save this cat.
I loved it. I love it.
So good.
Such a good scene.
Every moment in this.
So good.
Also, just like
every part of it. I had
that first like red scene after she saved the cat, when he like had his whole issue with his overalls, and I was just cackling the whole time. I was sitting there, I was like, how does she not know? Like, he can't hide it that well. He's in overalls, for God's sakes. Like,
no
way.
That was just so funny. And then like the part where like then he knocks on her door and she like gets woken up from like a nap and she's like, oh well, now we have both woken each other up from a nap, and he just starts getting red.
Like blush, and she just like doesn't catch on. I was like, oh God.
Oh man. I also really I think Avery, you talked about it, but I loved the cooking. Like, well, I really just liked how much Red took care of her in general. Yeah. But like the cooking scene was like when he was over and he's like, no, I'm gonna cook for you. She's like, don't cook for me. I'm like,
and he's like, no, I love cooking for people. Let me cook for you. And she's just like, don't treat me like I'm an invalid. And she's like, that's not what I'm doing. I just want to feed you, for God's sake.
It's offensive, but it was so cute.
It was such a good like sequence of parts in that when she was having her really terrible flare, like just how he treated her and how he just like continuously just, even though he like wanted her, just was like, no, we're good. It's just gonna treat you as you.
Yep. Yeah.
Perfect. I love him. Why don't we all have Reds?
I don't know. I also, the emails were great too. I loved the emails they sent back and forth.
So good.
Oh my gosh,
it was good. Yeah, it was so funny.
Because sometimes I don't love, I'm someone who doesn't love, like, you know, when characters like writing letters back and forth. I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I'm that person that will like skim read them because they're kind of boring sometimes. What? And I'm like, let's just get back to the point here. But those were so good. Like, you know,
they were so funny.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Yeah, I know like a lot of classic literature deals with epistolary sections of books. Like I know in Pride and Prejudice, there's an entire section where it's like just narrated through Jane's letters.
Yeah.
Little Women does the exact same thing. It's narrated entirely through either Jo's letters or Amy's letters, right? Like it just, it does that as a device. And then there's like the entire literary genre that are epistolary novels, which are just written in letter format, which I'm like, I have yet to find one that I actually really like that's entirely written in letters, because you know you're not getting everything from the characters because they're putting on such a show in the letters. But that's a whole other story.
I like it when it's done well. Like, I mean, like obviously I've read Little Women. I love Little Women, but and Pride and Prejudice. But I don't know. I just think sometimes, I don't know. It's just me.
Like, I know.
I just don't.
Who wrote it? I think it was a Christina Lauren. It was My Favorite Half Night Stand. I don't know if you guys have read that one. But the text conversations sometimes got a little bit much for me. I'm also not like a huge fan of that book because the only two characters that felt like people were the two main ones, and the rest of them just felt like pieces of paper. But it's a whole other issue. Again, like the text conversations took away from the story a little bit, but also in a way added. I think they could have been done differently, but whatever. That's a whole other book.
Yeah.
This one was done really well.
Mm-hmm.
I read
overall just a fantastic book. Oh my
I
god.
read Attachments earlier in January, and that one deals a lot with like this guy develops a crush on two girls emailing back and forth and having to like read their emails, and like it was very like I was kind of bored at times, but then like I'd start reading their chapters of them like emailing back and forth to each other, like, oh my gosh, wait, I'm actually enjoying this, and then there becomes the parts where the male would just be narrating in his own voice without the letters. I'm like, I just want the letter, the email.
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of feel like too, because I loved Attachments, that when it's done really well, you don't even realize like you're in the letter almost. Like it just like goes, it adds to the story rather than you being like, is this letter over yet? Or like, is this email over yet?
Yeah.
Because I thought the emails were done really well, and Attachments too. I liked them. That is a big water bottle for me. I love it.
It's like a daily thing. Like it goes by time. Like you should drink healthy. You should have this much water a day to like, be healthy.
Yeah.
And so it gives times like by 1 p.m. you should have this much drinking. 7, 5, whatever. Goes through the day.
At least you can pace yourself.
I haven't been doing that recently because like I'm at.
That's also like the worst thing to carry around because it's so big.
You're at 5 p.m. while you're only a couple hours behind.
Yeah, I don't carry it around, but I like fill this up sometimes every day. Sometimes I forget to fill it up all the way to the top, and then I'll just pour in my water bottle to take to class with me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Cool.
Anything else that we liked? I like. Oh wait, here's the part. I liked how she kind of found a friend in Annie, which was really fun.
I'm glad I was gonna comment on that earlier when we were doing the non-spoilery stuff. I'm like, I'm glad, and I was like, no, can't talk about that. That's right by the end. But yeah, I'm glad she did try a little bit, even though she was reluctant to. And I'm like, nah, it's because a lot of romance books, you don't get the friends. You just get like 1 or 2 comments here and there from friends just to move the plot along. But like, I'm glad that Red was like, you need friends. And she's like, but you're my friend and I have my family. And he's like,
you need more than that.
You need friends. Like, this is not, I'm not your friend. Don't want to be just your friend. I'm your boyfriend.
I'm your boyfriend.
I'm also really glad we didn't get a marriage proposal in the epilogue. Oh my god.
Yeah. Really? Is that like a pet peeve of yours?
Yeah. I can't. Like, if it's done well enough, it's okay. But I've now come to adore epilogues where they do like just where they are in like 6 months' time or whatever. I don't want that perfect wrapped up little bow of these because I like how slice of life these can be sometimes.
Yeah.
And how realistic. It's just like, also sometimes people don't get married. That's just what they choose, right? So I don't know. Yeah, it can be a pet peeve of mine, especially if it's Mets was a pet peeve of mine because we didn't get much of their relationship in the actual book. And then we just get their married, like, engagement. And I'm like, that's not what I'm here for, but okay.
It depends on the book. Sometimes I do like it, especially if it's like a series, if it's like a trilogy of the same characters. So you've read like 3 books of them being together. I do kind of like a good proposal in the epilogue just because I'm like, okay, we have suffered through 3 books.
Yeah, see, that makes sense though.
Like, you know what I mean?
Like, the story is given enough time. It makes sense. Yeah. Like on Honeymooners, that was one of my favorite books of 2019. That epilogue was fantastic because it just felt right. A lot of the times it just feels like it's serving its fan service a lot of the times.
Yeah.
So,
well, I don't think every couple needs to be engaged to be happy either.
In a year, no.
Not a year, especially because they both had issues they were working through, like, you know, but I think
they went to New York. That was perfect.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
I think a book that has one of my favorite epilogues is about is All Your Perfects by Colleen Hoover. If you've ever read that. Have you either of you read that? No?
No, I've never read a Coho.
I won't spoil it, but like
Mhm.
the epilogue for that is just like you expect the epilogue to go a certain way. It'll come up, but this book deals with infertility.
Oh, I have read it.
Okay,
I forgot. I have. When
it
she
deals
said
with infertility, so you expect the epilogue to be something or like have something in it, and like it doesn't. And I'm like, you know what? Yeah, that doesn't happen a lot. You know what I mean? Like,
it wasn't tied up in like a perfect bow.
Yes.
No.
But sometimes I do like them wrapped up in a perfect bow. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, that is so cute. You know what I mean?
It just depends on the book. Like, yeah. In the couple, and also like what we've been suffering through with the couple, you know. So
Yeah.
But I will say these two that are like a little bit not shorter, but like you said, they're more like this is just a small amount of time we see them, because this is only like what, a few months probably, like that they were in the book.
Yeah, I think so.
Other than the epilogue,
Yeah.
it wasn't that long.
Well, with the epilogue
was a year later.
Well, the epilogue was a year later, but I meant like the actual book part.
Oh yeah, it's probably a couple months.
So I feel like the ones that stretch over like long periods of time, you know,
it was a few months, I'm sure, because it was like time was passing in big chunks. You could tell because like there would be a part where she would say that she'd been on the couch for a few weeks, like with one of her flare-ups or whatever. So like there was time passing. So
I definitely feel like it was at least a few months. I just don't know if it was like a year or two. I don't think it was. So I feel like it was a shorter amount of time we got to see them like together.
Because I know she had Smudge for a month, right?
Yes. Smudge.
What a good cat name. Oh my god.
If I were to get another cat, I'd contemplate Smudge.
Yes, I was thinking about that yesterday.
I know.
But like I was thinking about that yesterday because I've started watching Avatar the Last Airbender finally, because I've just not watched it. I finished watching The Dragon Prince, which I adore with all my heart, and then I was like, I need another animated series. So I went into that Last Airbender because literally my entire friend group here has watched it and they rave about it. So I was like, okay. And like I just was like the monkey Momo, I was like, oh, so that's where G from Book Roast got her cat's name. And then I just kept thinking about different characters that I would name animals, because that's my favorite thing to do.
Oh
yeah. Whenever I get pets later on in life, like my own pets, I'm gonna name them book characters.
Oh, 100%. That is how I'm going to like extremely. That's how I'm gonna just introduce the fact that I'm a book nerd. I just like walk up to people and like say like my dog's name or something. I mean, like Bella now, she's named after Bellatrix Lestrange, so like it's there.
Yeah, my cat is named Dinah, which is not. It's a Disney one because it's from Alice in Wonderland. So it's sort of
it's reminiscent of classical literature because nobody has the name Dinah, but it feels like an old lady name too, like a sweet little old lady named Dinah from the South.
I just feel like such a little like lady. She's most little like prissy lady. So I feel like the name fits real well.
That's perfect.
I kind of like tricked my family a little bit into naming one of my dogs. My favorite TV show is Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and Buffy's best friend is Willow.
You have a pet named Willow.
So the oldest dog we have, her name is Willow, and so I'd be like, "How about the name Willow?" And they're like, "Oh, I like that name." I didn't tell them where it came from because if I told them it was from a book, they'd be like, "No," you know what I mean? Like,
tell them now. See what happens.
Like Katniss is Katniss. Like we have Katniss, but like we did not name her Katniss. Like she came, we rescued her. Her name was Katniss. Like my parents wanted to change that so bad, but like she was abused, and like we were trying to like. We didn't want her to change her name amongst everything she was going through. So we're like, we'll just say Katniss. I'm like, thank you. We're good with Katniss, y'all. We just call her Kat too.
Yeah.
I think I love picking names from either movies or books or something. It's cute, you know? It's nostalgic too to whatever book it was, you know? We'll see who gets the first cat. They can name him Smudge.
Also, remember Annie? I don't remember I think it's called Perdita or something.
Yeah, Perdita was from the 101 Dalmatians.
In 101 Dalmatians.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is weird, Was there a cat in the 101 Dalmatians, or she just named it after the dog?
Smudge was named after a dog.
Well, even in her monologue during that, she's like, Perdita, she is not a dog, nor is she Spotty.
Yeah.
And she was like, what? The outrage.
Like, told Red, she was like, it's a good name for a pet. A horrible name for a cat.
Very much. But also, Annie didn't name her, right? It was her mom that did?
I think so. I think
because it's her mom's cat.
Her mom had she was like, my mom, it's my job to take care of my mom's 12 cats.
Annie was such a weird.
Annie, I want Annie's story. I want to know more about Annie.
Whisperer. A knicker whisperer. That's
I want to know more about Annie. I want her story. Can we get her on the phone? Can we get Talia Hibbert on the phone to write Annie's story too?
I would love to see her. Because didn't she design like lingerie or something, right?
Yeah, she like runs a lingerie place.
That's so funny. But then she herself was like, "No, I don't have any like romance in my life," which I just found so funny.
She just seems like the perfect quirky character that I would like. I would love a rom-com between them.
Yeah. Also, y'all realize the next book is probably going to have them in it.
Yeah, I know. That's so exciting.
Same thing with like it's the one about waiting for Tom Hanks. They're probably going to be the next one too.
Yep. Yeah. Because it's about the best friend and her boss.
But I want the what's it called? Not like the movies or something like that. The next one. I'm so excited for that.
So am I. The best friend has such a much better personality than the main character in that one.
And the two of them like were already such butting heads in the first book that I'm here and I'm ready.
The bickering is going to be so perfect.
It's basically my dream for like a Lorelai and Luke.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know. There's some good books coming out this year. Like I'm excited.
Have we 100% decided on our next book?
I don't know. Have we?
We have Love Her or Lose Her on the list.
The next one from the Fixer Up, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Did you read Fixer Up?
I have not, but that's on my list.
Okay. Do you want to pick another one for this month and then we can come back to that one?
Yeah. We can do that one for March, I guess.
Then our March book was
Tweet Cute by Emma Lord.
Oh, the Tweet Cute. Do we maybe want to flip them?
We could do Tweet Cute first.
We could, because it's out now.
It is Valentine's, but I mean, they're all romances, so it doesn't really make a difference. But
that's true.
I was trying to think, I'm like, is there anything super Valentine's-y? But not that I can really think of.
Also, Ashley,
it's also a YA book, hey? Tweet Cute.
Is it YA?
Ooh. It's in the YA section.
Interesting. I thought it was adult. Well, I'm fine with that too.
So did I actually. I was at Indigo the other day and I saw it and I was like, wait. What?
It's been a while since I read a YA like romance that I really like.
I usually don't particularly like YA, so that would be interesting.
When I was
Chelsea from Chelsea Darling Reigns like loved this book, so I'm like,
I'm prepared to love it because she loves it.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say, Avery?
Oh, you said you wanted one of our. I would love to have historical romance as one of our.
Oh yeah.
I can have 2 of them from the Bake Crate box. I have these. Let me grab them.
See, my struggle is this.
For April then.
What?
For April, we should pick one.
Yeah, we should do one for April. I was trying to think of some, and the only struggle I'm currently having is, I want to pick one that I think we'll all like, but obviously, I was trying to pick one that I haven't read.
Yeah.
The struggle is real because I really
let's pick a 2020 release.
I've heard that the Bestwick is really good. That's got really good reviews.
Yeah, so basically both of them are about kind of like a man who has like a scarred face.
Cool.
I read the summaries in my bakery unboxing, but like both of them sound really good. So maybe we could do one of these or whichever ones y'all. I was just saying these are the 2 I have.
Yeah. Do you have any that are coming out this year that you want to do?
Well, that one I know. Those are new ones I know that came out because I was just looking at picking up the Beast of Bestwick. I think it's a Beauty and the Beast retelling too.
Is it?
I think it is. I'll look at it. We can look it up. But I want to say I saw someone.
Do you want me to read these right now? The summaries?
Go for it. Go read at least the one.
Hey, that's number 1 too of the Everly sisters. So like it's not like we're bouncing around.
Lord Nathaniel Hart, the disagreeable Duke of Beswick, his days smashing porcelain, antagonizing his servants, and snarling at anyone who gets too close. With a ruined face like his, it's hard to like much about the world, especially smart-mouthed harpies with lips better suited for kissing than speaking, who brave his castle with indecent proposals. But Lady Astrid Everly will stop at nothing to see her younger sister safe from a notorious scoundrel, even if it means offering herself up on a silver platter to the forbidding beast of Beswick himself. And by offer, she means what no highborn lady of sound and sensible mind would ever dream of, a tender marriage with her as his bride.
Sounds very Beauty and the Beastie.
Yeah, it does.
I remember this one. This one's basically about like a girl who, she's the oldest, and all of her younger sisters like are engaged to be married, but they can't get married until the oldest sister is engaged. You know what I mean? Like how it was back in the day. And so she pretends to be engaged to like kind of like the Boo Radley of the town. Like no one knows who he is. No one's ever seen him. He's like scarred and was in like the war or something, and no one's ever seen him. So she's like, heck, he's never out. He won't know that I'm pretending to be his fiance. So like I'm gonna tell people I'm his fiance and get all my sisters married off to the people that they love. And then he pops up one day and it's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Well, they both sound really good.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll do some more look up a few more, but the only struggle too is that a lot of the ones that are coming out are like in the middle of a series.
I saw that on that like Goodreads page I found. I was like, they're all like number 7 or number 8. What's happening?
They're like, you don't really have to read them because they're not the same couple. But I know some people really prefer to read them. Like,
I like to read them in order.
Yeah, which is hard because sometimes there's like 45 of them. It's like,
God.
That's what I wanted to do. Like, you were talking about Julia Quinn. You've been telling me forever to read Julia. And I want to read Julia Quinn, but like I have to get a copy of The Duke and I, or else I won't read it. I want to start with The Duke and I.
I know. And I will say too, The Duke and I, this is what's hard with series. The Duke and I is not the best in that series, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You kind of have to read it to like get acquainted to the characters and everything. And then
that's how I feel about the Black Dagger Brotherhood.
Yeah. Same thing. Yeah, I agree. That wasn't my favorite, but you kind of have to read it, you know?
Yeah.
But I always just tell people, if you don't love The Duke and I, just give the second and third a chance. If you don't like it after the second and third, then you can give up.
Cool.
Because they're the best. But I say maybe for April, we could do I'll look up some more, but maybe the first one. Which one would you prefer? I don't really mind. They both sounded good.
They did both sound good.
Do you have a preference, Jen?
No.
I don't own either one either, so
Nor do I. So.
I've just been hearing a lot of good things about this one.
Yeah, I've been hearing more about the Beast of Beswick, but I mean,
it's also number 1 of the.
Yes, true.
Number
one of Everly sisters. I don't know. What's it called?
My Darling Duke.
My Darling Duke.
Yeah, I already had.
Oh, it's also number 1 as well. Never mind.
Oh, okay.
So we could probably talk about it later.
Yeah.
Or
we also don't have to do these.
Both.
I was just saying the 2 that I have.
So I guess for what's this month, February, I guess you want to do the Tweet Cute then?
We can, if you guys want to. Or we can do other ones.
We could try it. I mean, we have
our first YA.
So we could try it.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be interesting because it's going to be our first YA. I feel like probably I really want to, for like this year, I want to like do more different subgenres of romance because I think we just did a lot of contemporary romance, you know what I mean? But like the fantasy one.
Yeah, we could do some paranormal. You know.
I don't know if y'all would be up for this, but like my feelings.
Is what?
Sorry?
You froze for a second.
Alien romances.
Alien ones.
Well,
I can do that.
That'd be really fun. But like then again, like alien romances, none of them are 5 stars. So like
that's true. I mean, it's not. I don't
give any of them 5 stars, but like they're really really fun. What I mean is, I want to like get into more subgenres. Like I want to read historical romance. I want to read. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I need to read more. Like, I love fantasy romance, but I haven't read too much lately. Yeah, I know you love it too. We should try one. I know I was a little hesitant to suggest that just because I know you love regular fantasy, Jen. So I wasn't sure how the fantasy romance was going to go down because it's very much.
I don't know.
It's like romance in the fantasy. You know what I mean? You just have to go in knowing it's going to be like 7 5.
Once you go in knowing, like if it's. I went into A Court of Thorns and Roses not knowing about the intense romance, and now I refuse to read another Sarah J. Maas book. Although Crescent City does sound really interesting, so like I might do that one because it's marketed as an adult book, so like it's better.
If you want,
but like
fantasy romance, 2 authors that I think do a really really good job are Grace Draven and Emma Hamm.
Yes. I co-sign.
Really, really good one.
Well, actually, I haven't read Emma Hamm, but I love Grace Draven. I know. That's one I need to read this year because I know you've. Oh, we should make a deal. Like I'll read Emma Hamm and you read Julia Quinn.
Or we can just put both on the list of what we're gonna read this year. Like just
make good.
I need to. I've only read 2 of Emma Hamm's books. She comes out. She has a bunch of them. The only 2 that I've read are the first 2 in her retelling series. She makes a bunch of it's fantasy books but retellings. It's called the Otherworld series. So like the first one is Beauty and the Beast, and the second one is a dual. It's kind of like a duology with that couple. Like the first and second book is about a couple, and then the third one I have a physical copy of it. That's a Little Mermaid retelling. But like just see the cover. It's gorgeous.
Little Mermaid. That's so cool.
Get it.
I don't know. I'm a big fan of Amanda Boucher. Her series is fantasy too, and that's
that is cool.
Ooh, that looks creepy.
Yeah. Also, the books the historical romance books, they came with cover art, and so like this one goes with this one.
Oh, that's so cute. Aww. I love those. I follow a couple of people who do that on Instagram, and I'm always like so impressed with their artwork.
Yeah, some people are just so talented. It's ridiculous.
It really is. I can't draw like to save my life, so I'm very impressed.
Yes, but yeah, we can get any. We should do a bunch of different genres.
Yeah, but I think I'm good with Tweet Cute though for February. If you want that one, do a YA, kind of try it out.
Yeah.
I trust Chelsea's opinion. Hopefully Chelsea is.
So do I. I'm hoping that I don't feel the same way that I usually feel about YA. So
I know.
Yeah, I've slowly gotten out of YA. Most of the time, the only YA that I read are fantasy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember the last YA contemporary I ever read.
I want to try to
read. I just get mad at 16-year-olds thinking they found the love of their life. I'm like, you're freaking 16. I just get mad.
I want to read the Contemporary-a-thon is this month, hosted by Chelsea. So I think I'm going to try. I have a bunch of YA contemporaries. I want to read at least one.
I just downloaded First and Then by Emma Mills. I just downloaded the audiobook for that one because a lot of people have said it's really good.
People love Emma Mills, yeah.
Yeah, I've never read any of hers. So and then, but I have to say, I do love the To All the Boys series. That's like my exception. Oh my gosh. Hey, they're on Audible Escape.
I know, that's what I was thinking. I think I might listen to it during Contemporary.
Yeah, I listened to.
I've only done the first book of that one because I also have an issue with contemporary series. I don't think they should exist, but that's my thing. Because then it's just so many stupid obstacles coming in the way of this, you know? Like you're just creating issues. But like I know people really love the To All the Boys trilogy.
Usually I agree with you, which is why I don't read a lot of YA, but I thought that the second book wasn't the best, but the third book was like so well done. Like the problems to me were like, cause I read it last year when I was like a grown adult. I just thought they were really realistic. Like I would have those issues if I were 18 and about to go to college. You know what I mean? It was really like reasonable problems, you know what I mean? Rather than like stupid stuff. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess if we are good to go.
We haven't talked about this book in a while. We're talking about other stuff.
It was really good, though. I feel like when we like it, we don't have as much to say as when we don't like it.
This is true. We just talk about all the things we like, which is the entire book.
Yeah.
I don't think there was a specific point where I was like, ooh, I don't really like that. There were parts where I was like, ooh, that's really sad. That makes me like sad. But like, I've never been
well written, though.
bored or like, I'm sick of this. Like, I didn't feel like that at all in this.
No, it was just really, really, really good. That's the conclusion. If you are on the fence, we suggest you pick it up.
I really want to read more Talia Hibbert. I've read one of them, but I really enjoyed it.
What else has she read or written?
I read her about a girl who let me find it. A Girl Like Her by Talia Hibbert is the one that I read. It's sorry, it's hard to see. Oh, there's my mother. I'll call her back in a sec. But that one's about a girl who is the town outcast, and she falls in love with her neighbor.
Lovely.
It was really good, cute. But I need to read more Talia Hibbert.
Yeah, I want to read more too because it was really good. I feel like anything that you read that's a 5-star, you want to go find whatever else they wrote.
Yeah.
Oh, Avery, I saw you're gonna co-host that or be a guest host on the one with Shelby.
Yes, they asked
me. I loved that book. The one you gave me, Jen, for Christmas.
Yeah.
I loved it. It was really good. They're gonna like talk about it, right? Do like a live show for it?
Yeah, they asked me to be a co-host. They're co-host for January, and we're reading Passion on Park Avenue. And yeah, we're gonna talk about it at the end of February.
Very cool. You're also doing the Hunger Games one too, hey?
Yes.
My God, you're just everywhere.
Everyone's having a different. Yeah. It's just a bunch at once. Hopefully. I only like physically read like 3 books in January. So like we're gonna see how this goes. Hopefully I end up reading both of them.
I'm sure you'll be okay. The Passion on Park Avenue was pretty fast reading.
Okay. Cool. Are y'all gonna participate in the Hunger Games one or no?
No, I can't. I've reread that book. That book is terrible. Like, I love it, but the writing is so bad. I can't do it. I can't do it to myself. I'm sorry.
I probably won't reread it because I don't know where my books are, to be perfectly honest with you. They're in like
all my Hunger Games books.
But I really, really wanted to read
all of them.
I want to watch
I might have. I don't remember.
I couldn't find the movies anywhere. They weren't I found them, but you have to like buy them. No one has them on like their streaming. I was very sad. I was
pirate them.
I've never had a streaming service that allows it. I think you probably either have to like probably rent it from Amazon maybe or iTunes.
Yeah, you could. I found them. You could rent them for like $3 a piece, or just buy them for $6 a piece. So
the first one, at least, like I remember, I've always been a Hunger Games person, but when the movie came out on DVD, I bought the DVD. So
yeah.
DVD, and then I had like a code. I had a code for you to put it on your iTunes for free. So like,
oh, that's cool. Yeah, I know a lot of them did that. I should check because I have the DVD for some of them, but my DVD player is not working.
My computer's my DVD player.
Yeah, see, I have a Mac, and you have a Mac too, don't you? Does yours have a CD-ROM thing?
My old one does. My old one does. They don't make them anymore though.
Yeah, mine doesn't have one.
Yeah, you have to get like the separate like machine that you plug in.
Yep. All right, we should probably stop rambling for anyone who's watching this.
Yes.
Thanks for joining us, though.
Yes, come back next month. We were reading Tweet Cute by Emma Lord?
I think so.
Emma Lord.
Great.
Cool. Okay.
That's right.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Good night.